So I've been playing Genshin for a year and a half now, and the quote, brevity is the soul of wit, keeps coming back to me. It's a saying that basically means something clever, smart, or brilliant is usually short and refined down to its best version. And I keep thinking about this for Genshin because it is a long ass game. Couple that with my slow as fuck playstyle, and I'm still in Sumeru. The story up until this point definitely isn't witty or concise, but that doesn't mean it wasn't enjoyable. In fact, this nation is the best the game has probably ever been. Quality is subjective though, and when it comes to storytelling, if you push past the limit of what's acceptable, sometimes the sheer audacity wraps back around into greatness. In this case, audacity means length. Now, does that mean it's the same kind of quality as something short and sharp? No, but you can get pretty close. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that quality can be brute forced, and Sumeru in Genshin Impact is the perfect example of this length equals quality concept. We're not going to recap the entire story here, but I'd like to highlight some moments in the plot that I feel like were pulled directly from previous quests or stories and implemented back into the main plot with better execution. The region kicks off in Gandharvaville, where the traveler gets hit with a vision of a majestic tree and the ominous words, "World, forget me," before collapsing and needing to be rescued. Two important things happen here. First, the story basically mirrors the very first cutscene of the game. Two travelers stopped in their tracks by some overwhelming force. Sumeru is gonna do this a lot. A simple strategy of using old templates, but it works. Second, the writers clearly learned from Inazuma's mistake, and instead of spending hours pondering the future danger that is the tree's mystery, they immediately give us something concrete to work with: the Withering, a threat that's actively killing people. And you get to jump straight into the action, cleaning up corruption in the forest with Tainari before moving on. A third thing actually happens here as well, with Kale also being introduced, but that depends on whether you read the pre-launch manga and got the extra dose of foreshadowing for her. If you haven't, it's no big loss, but I'm still counting it in the length equals quality counter. Now, you reach Sumeru City, and a new player might start thinking that this is where the pacing gets wonky. It happened in Mond, it happened in Liyue, and the only reason it didn't happen in Inazuma is cause that place has got its own problems. Sumeru is surprisingly streamlined though. You head to Port Oromos once, come back, and then boom, Nahida shows up almost immediately, and the plot ramps with the Akasha trapping the city in a dream. Add +1 to the counter. The city is locked in an endless sleep, the minds of its people harvested for some shady purpose. What's important here is that Dunyarzad fills the exact same role that Teppei did in Inazuma, a companion NPC that creates an emotional connection to current events, yet does so well that I honestly wish she was a playable character. Once the dream spell is broken, the Traveler and Paimon still can't quite match the Academia, and Nahida has to stall while the duo escape to the desert. If this sounds familiar, that's cause Inazuma did the same flee to regroup beat. The difference here is that instead of wandering alone, we're joined by Alhaitham, exactly what I wanted to happen back with Thoma, making the counter go to 5 and thankfully stopping there. The finale is refreshing in that it doesn't really echo anything, at least not in Genshin. If you've seen any good heist film, the plot is laid bare, but the climax is unique enough to survive my scrutiny. A ragtag alliance forms. The Traveler and Paimon intentionally get caught to contact Nahida. Alhaitham feigns insanity to sneak a command into the Akasha. Dea and the Eremites beat up the core of 30, and Sino straight up tortures the Grand Sage. Then we cap it off with a 2-stage boss fight against a giant mecha, defeated using the same dream technology that trapped the city earlier. The day is saved and everyone celebrates with a feast. I'm not going to spoil what exactly happens or what World Forget Me means, cause it's honestly really cool and worth experiencing firsthand. Circling back to the main argument though, when you see the timeline of the main plot directly getting better like this, you gotta wonder, if length always leads to a quality end, does that end justify the painful means? Should we see this Frankenstein's monster of a story stitched together from Genshin's past lessons as a cop-out? Personally, I don't think so. Sumeru is smart in a different way. It took what worked before, cut out a lot of the dead weight, and doubled down on actual stakes, character payoffs, and pacing. Even as I praise it though, one question still nags at me. Why couldn't the story have been this good from the start? Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one.